adventure halfway around the world with friends all around me, every boy and every girl. I've worked hard and waited so long, and now I'm in it for the win. When I touch down in London, that's when my journey begins. So here I go, I won't look back. The choice is mine to be the best. The time is now to make all these dreams last forever. So here I go, I won't look back. The choice is mine to be the best. The time is now to make all these dreams last forever. Forever BEO. Forever BEO. I've heard there's so much to do there. I have nothing left to fear. I can't stop thinking about the future. I see my path is so clear. So here I go, I won't look back. The choice is mine to be the best. The time is now to make all these dreams last forever. So here I go, I won't look back. The choice is mine to be the best. The time is now to make all these dreams last forever. Forever BEO. Forever BEO. Forever BEO. Forever BEO. Forever BEO. Forever BEO.
Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Once again, we have Cathy Whittaker with us. If you saw her talk yesterday, then you're welcome again. If not, then welcome. I'd like to introduce myself first. My name is Michelle Cripps, and I am one of the managers here at BEO World. We're very excited you're here. I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about Cathy just before she begins, just to give you a little bit of more background. And then at the end, if you have any questions or any comments regarding her presentation, please feel free to write them in the chat box or just raise your hand. So Cathy has been a group leader for 7 years at the BEO competition. She has achieved semi-finals 3 times in a row and several individual awards for different events. She has prepared over 130 students by herself in each of the requested events. And of course, this has allowed her to see her students grow, become stronger and more confident. And obviously, of course, seeing them improve their communication skills in their English language. The experience has helped Cathy it has given her an opportunity to get closer to the BEO students, and of course the BEO parents. All of this has led her to a more stable position in her current job and great recognition. So without further introduction, I will pass over the microphone to Cathy.
Thank you very much, Michelle. It's great to be back. Yesterday's session was a great success from my perspective, and I hope this one will be too. I'm just going to share my screen to get going. Right, obviously, it's always a wonderful experience and a great honor to be able to share and give insight or give back from the insight that one gains from one's experience in anything that one does. But particularly this experience, the BEO and the Masters competitions are incredible vehicles through which we can find a greater sense of who we are as teachers, who our students are, who our parents are. And so what we're going to talk about today is our role, the teacher's role, which I consider to be much more than just a coach. First of all, I'd like just to say a little bit more about myself. I was born in the United Kingdom. I grew up around the world due to my father's job. And then gravitated to Costa Rica. So I've been here in Costa Rica for 25 years, and I've been teaching English to high school students for the last 21 years. I actually began at university level, but found that the students, or the individuals that begin their university career are already pretty molded, and I felt that I wanted to be able to mold and find minds and beings that were much more malleable. And so when I went into high school, I was amazed at how working with these younger minds and younger beings brings all sorts of different experiences and benefits. And if you couple it with activities that you do within the school and these international experiences such as BEO, then the potential and the horizons that are reached are beyond one's own imagination. I really have been absolutely amazed with creating spaces for students to be able to explore their English, explore themselves, explore their talents and who they are through such a experience. I've been on a number of these competitions, and each time I've learned a lot alongside my students. And I believe that it's not only a tremendous journey for the students, but also for the teachers. I'm very blessed with an English department that works very well together, and also have a mindset that looks to broadening horizons and bringing English, or teaching English, in a much more meaningful and natural way. So with that said, I would like to just set where it is that I would like to head today. What are my intentions? What have I set out? What are my objectives? So I hope by the end that you'll be able to take away with you a clearer picture, a more detailed painting of what the teacher's role is, and probably even more important, the degree to which our role gets involved in what actually takes place. It's a very delicate balance, which you'll begin to see as when I begin and move on. I'd also like to be able to give some shape to the teacher's role through how we strategize, how we create the game plan, and then obviously create a plan of action. I think I would love for you to be able to take away the fact that the power that we have in our hands is transformational. We are transforming young people and ourselves as well, and anybody who gets involved. And then I hope also to be able to show you what the role looks like in reality, and also in action. What does it look like when it's on the ground? What does it look like when you've made the decisions and you're putting them into action, and where that takes you? So that's what I've set out to do. To begin with, though, I'd like to begin by stating or showing you a much more overarching power that our role has. And I hope that these two videos that I'm going to show you will allow you to see the the spaces that we fill when it comes to building the team, preparing them for competition, and all that that involves. And so I'd like to bring to the table today the quote by Aristotle. It's been attributed to him, this quote, that the whole is greater than the sum of all parts. So I hope these two videos will be able to show you how the overall effect, excuse me, is much more powerful than if you were to take each individual part on its own. So in this first one, I've chosen it partly because it alludes to what one might imagine a comical queen guard might look like, but also, obviously, more importantly, it's going to allow us to be able to see all the different parts coming together for an overall effect. So, I need to go back. So as we can see, this video very clearly portrays and alludes to how we can bring many individual elements to the stage. On the one hand, we have the soldiers. There are 36 of them. We have the cannon and obviously the sign indicating that there has been an explosion. And when you put them all together, we have a message and a humor that brings a tremendous amount of suspense and then humor, and overall showing how, although it's difficult to produce such a skit or sketch, they manage it very, very well. In my preparation for this talk, I came across the choreographer, obviously in a video, who spoke about how what it took out of, or took to take this to where they wanted to bring it, which was obviously to the stage. And she said that it took hours of preparation. It took hours of one by one showing the individual soldiers or the actresses to be able to fall in such a way that they could trust each other, to know that they would all come together as one by one, even if it meant that they would have to have their noses crushed, or whether they would have to be leant against with tremendous force. And as you can see, all together, that very slow wave that was achieved was very effective and quite a performance to be enjoyed. So we can see that our role is invisible. It's hidden behind the scenes, but it is crucial to the final product. That choreographer made it very clear to me that although the choreographer cannot be seen, you can feel those that are involved in the managing and the decision making that actually brings to what the final product is. So I would see it as the glue and the energy that pulls all the different parts together. It's the guidance and the support that we show on a continual basis. And it's also the steadfastness that we show at crucial moments. There are times where we just have to really dig deep within ourselves and feel and know what it is that we have to say, what we have to organize, what we have to do to be able to make sure that the whole team moves forward towards its objective. So I believe that we can actually say, although mathematically it doesn't work, that 4 plus 4 does equal 5. So in this next video, it's again a performance from a different perspective. We've got different elements that are going to come together through one conductor who is making the decisions and people are following the instructions. And so we can once again see that even when it's not choreographed over a lot of time with professionals possibly measuring each of the forces that are required and how to build it, we can still create beauty. And so this next video is going to allow us to appreciate what I would like to call, or what I see our role to be, which is the synergy. We are filling in those spaces that bring the individual elements together for an enjoyable experience. So let me just move away again. So here we have once again how the individual parts, each and every single umbrella with its light, were brought together by a conductor who in the moment gave instructions to be able to create, at the end of the day, a spectacle to be admired, and the individual parts enjoying the exercise or the performance as well. So at many different levels, that synergy can be felt. If your students are enjoying the process and they are enthusiastic and giving of themselves, then that is going to be a direct reflection of what you're also bringing to the table. And that synergy pulls all the different elements and parts together to form a spectacle such as this one. We could even go as far as to say that the light in each of those umbrellas could be equal to the light that we are working with within each one of us. Each student has his or her light that they want to bring to the table to be able to be part of the whole. And that is such a powerful energy that moves everything forward. And so we as the teachers or the leaders are going to be feeding into and what would be the word, pulling together, sewing together all those very important parts that are unique and individual to be able to create a whole, which at the end of the day is the 5 out of the equation that I feel we bring to that table. So this synergy, this connectivity, this cohesion that we're looking for in any team or group is achieved through a number of different approaches. And obviously we're always looking to bring everybody to that table. So the activities, the events that we organize have to be well thought out and planned. This is where the role of the teacher expands into an arena far greater than that of a coach. who I see as you know, somebody who trains and organizes. Our role is one of strategizing. It's of reading the needs of the team and coming up with a plan of action. So to sum up this little section with the two videos, I would say that our role is a very delicate one, and it's one in which we're looking to find a balance between being a conductor, like an orchestra, conductor in the umbrella project, or the choreographer in the first video, and a taskmaster. We must remember that we also have to be the role that's providing the limits and the channel and the edges of that channel so that everybody is on the same page, so to speak. So if we look at the teacher's roles, and actually I want to stress roles, that S is absolutely important. It's not just one role. We're not just a coach that trains and organizes. If not, we are much, much greater than that. So I would proffer the image of a role that juggles, you know, many different balls, or fireballs, whatever you would like, all at the same time. We're also touching hearts and minds and lives as we juggle. And on top of that, we're conjuring up out of something out of nowhere, hoping that it's going to work like a magician would. So in more grounded terms, we're facilitators, we're mentors, we're mediators. And as such, we are going to be moderating and running sessions, exercises, discussions. We're going to be building work groups where knowledge is shared and extracted from the participants. So as you can see, a coach as a term is very short-sighted, very limiting, and I think rather simplistic. So we're going to be bringing to the table a way to be able to get to the end in an easier, fun, goal-oriented way, overcoming problems and finding solutions on the way. So I know that probably most of you, if not all of you, are beginning this journey. And I'm parting from the point at which you already have your team. We have a way at our school, the way we build the team is through getting to know our students through 7th and 8th grade, and then inviting them to come forward and be part of a mystery challenge and to see how they perform. And they have to also give us a little speech on how what it is that's drawing them to become part of the team. And then from there, we draw up a list of, in order of who we feel would be able to participate. And then once the team is consolidated, this is where what I'm going to share with you today, I feel becomes important. So it goes without saying that there's an overarching maxim, which is this idea of bringing everybody together, that synergy. So how does this synergistic process begin? Well, obviously, it must be always underpinned or supported by a vision of building trust, building unity, building a sense of responsibility, of commitment, of empathy, of respect, solidarity. There are so many wonderful character building elements to the process, but the humanistic, the being as such is what should be at the core of what our mission is. And you can see it in this image, obviously the ball being the center where we're heading to, which is obviously the competitions, but with that, the arms being extended with what each one of us has to offer to be able to make the process. And I think the process should be seen as much more part of the success than any prize or recognition you might get in the actual competition. Really, it's a winning process right from day one if it's taken, I believe, with this approach. So we're looking to build spaces in which our individual members of the team can be who they are, can express what it is they would like to create, and be taken in as part of the equation. So this is going to play really well when you're looking to create a script for the drama fest, or when you're looking at the dynamics for a mystery challenge, or the investigation for a country spotlight, or building a business plan for the masters competition. These are all the foundations that are needed to be able to make sure that the work, which is challenging, becomes an important part of what I would call the sort of grassroots of the process. Now, I'd also, perhaps as a side note, I think it's very important to highlight that during this whole process, the English language is absolutely essential. And this can be seen when one gets to competition and you're asked to use signposting terms. You're expected to be able to use connectors properly, being able to obviously create highly structured sentences. So that part of the language is very important. So we also play a role in directing language, in being involved in tweaking those aspects of the language that will play an important part, certainly if you get to the semifinals or the finals. So these spaces that we need to create to allow the students to be able to explore their imaginations, be able to be who they really are, and also to give of what they are and what they feel needs to be done to be able to push the team forward. But that doesn't mean that we just sit back and watch it happen. We're there checking in to guide with progress. We're checking in to guide, to be guiding the synergy that's building, and also to be able to sort out problems as they arise. Where we become problem solvers. So these moments of intimate team building are very, very important. And I think I would also add that it's very important to open up the space for reflection. At the end of a mock mystery challenge, or at the end of a preliminary going through of the script for the spotlight, country spotlight, it's really important to sit down, the whole team, and reflect, give feedback. That feedback is absolutely essential. If you wait to do it when you get to competition, it's too late. Those 6 months that you have to build that team, that is the time to do it. And so it must become part of your game plan. It must become part of the process, so that there can be instant ways to be able to recapitulate and look at where the improvements are needed, and for you as the role as a teacher and the many roles can make the right decisions. So how would this look once it were, in this case, in this particular slide, on paper, but eventually I would like to be able to see what it would look like on the ground. So first of all, absolutely fundamental, the way that we also carry ourselves. We must be showing a way that models what it is that we expect to see in them. We need to be able to go to the floor if it needs be, to be able to build what it is that the students are seeing on the floor, going up on top of the building to be able to throw airplanes. One must be up there, keeping tabs of what's going on, but also showing that you're in the team as well. The creation of these spaces to ask questions, extract ideas, and deal with concerns. Obviously, to support the creative process at all times. Absolutely a magical process through brainstorming and exploring everybody's imagination, putting all those ideas on the table, and then obviously making decisions at that point. And then mediating. We're listening to all perspectives and opinions, and for me, consensus. If there is one person who's feeling left out, is straggling behind, the team is only going to be as powerful as the person who is least connected. So if that person has committed, everybody has to make sure that the least interested person, the one that's feeling the most outside, is pulled back in again. And these weaknesses, these weak links will be seen once you get into the pressure of competition. So it's important for those that do find it easier, that are the more natural leaders, to be invited to see that everyone must be brought to the table for that consensus to be achieved. So I've divided our roles into three different levels. Obviously at the bottom, the grassroots, which is the pre-event. We've then got the roles that we play during the event and the roles that we play post the event. As you can see, pre-event, we are going to be the team building experts. We're going to be the mindfulness teachers. We're going to be the meaningful and real scenario organizers, the reflection directors, the fundraising coordinators. These roles are endless and obviously much more than that of a coach. Once you're in competition during the event, you become chief rehearsal master, you become a chaperone, you become a team leader, you become a substitute parent, and more. And then if you go into the post-event, you're going to be looking at instigating reflection and appraising the benefits, which obviously is very important because there we can see what was the importance, why was it that you took on the whole exercise and the challenge, and to see how to then improve the game plan and the plan of action going on from that moment for the next year or for the years to come. Now, if we bring it down further to the actual ground, in school weeks and the school day, this is what I believe it looks like. I am suggesting ideas here that obviously, you can implement yourselves. So these 6-7 months that I believe it takes to take a team that were a group of strangers into a consolidated team requires careful planning, creativity, pulling contacts, working with the school, working with other teachers, to be able to bring all that you need pre the event so that the synergy is achieved. And so if you look at it from a team building exercise, as your role as a team builder, well, the spaces, the activities for experiential learning. I suggest that you can bring in in-house experts, such as your psychologist or orientation groups. We also will bring in experts in team building to be able to have them find those skills, build those skills, and develop those skills that will eventually be essential to moments of stress, moments of having to produce. Those mystery challenges always come to mind. They're probably the most tense moments of any competition, because you as a teacher, as the leader, do not know what they're being asked to do. They're taken off to work on their own, hopefully in English, and they have to build and then present with no input or any guidance from the teachers. That's where you can see where all that you have put together beforehand can actually bring tremendous success or areas of improvement. Now, alongside this, and all this goes hand in hand, mindfulness. We found that, and this is thanks to a BEO experience that we had. It was on the investigation competition, and our students decided they wanted to do it on mindfulness. And so we brought in a mindful expert, and we were taught the techniques in mindfulness. And these quiet spaces, individual and group, are very important. And so I call them check-in techniques. It's having those small, quick moments that you can just check in with yourself, bring yourself into the present moment, and allow yourself to be all that you truly are without limitations, fears, anxiety kicking in that could jeopardize what is at hand. And then obviously you could go as far as meditation, those moments where you could shorten a rehearsal just to be able to bring everybody to the present moment and bond them at an energetic level, which is something that's very close to my heart. Now, I think alongside this, real life scenarios have to be introduced. You can't send your team off into the wilderness and not know what to, not have them know what it is that they have to do. So we put on mystery challenges from the very set go. We have them do mystery challenges, both speaking and also the engineerial, to give them experience and for them to see where it is that they need to improve to bring that synergy in those smaller groups. So we put on, in the masters competition, for example, we put on a mock master competition. That meant that we brought in business owners and businessmen and women to be the judges. We divided the group in two, and they had to compete against each other with a particular brief. And it worked very well. So when we got to competition, they knew what to expect. And they had worked on those skills and areas of improvement and were much more ready for the competition. We also have BEO Parents Evenings, where towards, as we get closer to the actual event, the different competitions are hopefully being finished off or polished in rehearsal. So we put the students in front of the parents and teachers and the whole school at times to do the song, to put on the drama performance, to do the country spotlight. And so they have already had some experience, some sort of loosening up to in front of an audience to be able to feel more confident when they actually are in front of hundreds of people from around the world, and obviously the judges. And another aspect that we found very, very beneficial are the alliances with businesses and universities. On the one hand, with BEO, we've worked with Intel, which is a big company here near where our school is, and they helped us very much on building a project that was requested for the competition that will be next year. And for the masters, we made contact with a private university called ULead, and they are a business school or business university, and they provided small talks and small courses on design thinking, on leadership, on finances. And so the students had an idea of the terminology, they had an idea of the form and the perhaps a little bit more context for the competition. And then another aspect that we bring in is fundraising. We feel that it's really important that the students gain ownership, not only that they have been allowed to be part of the team and are able to be part of the team, but also that they should give back a little bit. So although obviously what we do will never pay for the whole program, it certainly contributes to being able to pay for costumes, being able to pay for props, for different elements that come up through the course of the build up to the competition. And so for the masters, the team organized the school dance. We took it as a business, and so they had to come up with a business plan, they had to come up with a marketing strategy, they had to come up with publicity, they had to create the publicity, they had to actually organize it, decorate it, and then the proceeds were taken and put into the team's little purse to be able to then help with expenses. One year we created a smoothie stand for a BEO competition, and it's still going today. That was our first competition, and we created a smoothie stand. In 7 years, we've been running a smoothie stand as the English department, which brings in a little bit of money every week in a healthy way for activities that are either tied to BEO or to the English department. So that works very well. Again, they have to run the finances, they have to run the provisions, they have to make sure there's fruit, they have to make sure that there are cups, and that they have to make sure that it's sold, and they have to come up with publicity strategies. And so it works very well for them to get involved in building their experience. We have food stands at school events as well, which can be very successful. And this is where you can bring in the parents. The parents sometimes have more time than we as teachers, as we still have to carry on giving our classes. And so there's a great support that can come in from there, and parents like to be involved. They like to feel that they are part of the experience, and so it's a wonderful way to bring them in and for them to support you as in your roles, and obviously their children. And then raffles, a quick weekly raffle can bring in a tremendous sense of ownership and money to be able to add to the expenses. So it really is a great way to build a team without it just being forced through the fact that you are a team. No, you have to find ways, techniques, approaches that's actually going to build that glue and that connection from all different points, so that the synergy is achieved. So you can see from what I've been putting to you that our role is far, far greater than a coach. And one step further in our role is that of taking a young mind and a young being and having them grow and build skills and the capacity and the capability to take on the demands that these competitions put upon them. And so to see a 13, 14-year-old become more assertive, become more confident, become more creative, empathetic, expressive, open-minded, outgoing, responsible, trustworthy, versatile, really is the magic in all of this. And so, as I said before, we're magicians. With all the support that one gets and with all the creativity that we have and the bonding and building of the team, at the end of the day, the success is far more than just any prize or recognition that you might get during the course of the actual event. It's just the icing on the cake. Really, the substance is lived pre and during the experience with all the different activities and demands that are placed upon everybody in the 2 weeks that you're in the UK. So this role for me is one of the most precious and most beautiful aspects of what it is that we do, and why I and we as a team at the school choose to continue taking students to these competitions. We've had tremendous success, not only in competition, but also we have 2 of our students have become ambassadors in the BEO setup. And so just to show you where such an experience can take a young mind and a young being. So in essence, what I'm trying to capture with this image is to see how through the building up to the event and the actual event, what was perhaps a very structured Excel type approach becomes a much more fluid, versatile, driving force that's going to be brought up and born into anybody, whether it's the teacher or even the parents, but certainly the students. They will have that asset, that one step ahead. And as we face a world with tremendous competition, it is so important to be able to put another, or as we say in English, another feather in our cap, to be able to say, yes, I can do that. I've been there. Certainly as you know, the professional world becomes so demanding and so competitive, one has to be finding at a younger age ways to be able to build skills and experiences that are meaningful, that are life-changing, and are going to set you up for success in the long run. So it's an exercise in empowering. The student becomes empowered truly because they are invited to look within. There's a journey from within that is absolutely, it's so powerful and so magical that I'm, every time that I see it, astounded by what we are capable as individuals. And one thinks, oh, you know, we're so young at 14, 15, 16. No, these young minds are the leaders of the future. And I think this is a way that we can give them a way, a push into a professional, or into a university world, and also a professional world that will bring them great success. So it's very clear that our role is much, much more than just a coach. And here I just like to be able to ground what it does look like in our school and on our competitions, what all our hard work and our creativity and our planning and our game plan can look like when put into visual form. So we as teachers undergo tremendous transformation alongside our students. We become mind readers, we become magicians, we're wizarding into reality things that we never imagined we could actually attain. Students come up with ideas that one has no idea where the route is, and they've had such tremendous success. We become confidants to the students. We become explorers, we're healers, we're guides, we're mediators, we're taskmasters, we're problem solvers. There is just so many different aspects and parts to the role that we play. And to sum it all up, it's the transformational power that we hold, and the responsibility that we have as well has to be recognized. And so in our journey in touching lives and changing people's perspectives, in broadening horizons, in challenging and supporting other people's and others' journeys to become and reach who they really are, I think we can conclude that we are maestros, yes, in the classical sense. We look into our own talents and find our own talents to be able to help others bring those talents to the table. And in so doing, we open them up to a world, and we broaden the perspectives of what is possible. And I think now more than ever, with this pandemic that we are all living through, more than ever, we need the skills and the capabilities that come from the roots of these competitions. And yes, it's challenging, but the benefits far outweigh what the journey might sometimes seem very overwhelming. So I would invite you to embrace the challenge, to see beyond the demands and the problems that one might face, and imagine yourselves having accomplished one of the most powerful roles in existence, which is that of a teacher, in a meaningful and powerful way in a journey that BEO and masters provide for schools around the world. So that, I hope I've been able to achieve my objectives and given you some light for the journey ahead, and some tools and plans, maybe a game plan, a plan of action that might help you in the months ahead, and certainly for the competition that you will face next year. So thank you very much for your time and your ears for listening. And back to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Cathy. Once again, thank you very much for your insightful presentation. Amazing tips I'm sure we can all go away with and apply to our own experience with the competitions. I mean, I'd like to open this space to anybody that would like to maybe ask a question or make a comment on Cathy's presentation. We have a few comments here saying thank you very much. Greetings from the American School of Pachuca, Mexico. Thank you. Welcome from Caracas, Venezuela. So yeah, if you have any questions, any comments, please feel free to either raise your hand or write them in the chat box. Aida Munoz says, thank you very much, Cathy.
Very welcome.
Great presentation as always.
Thank you.
Awesome. Great. So if anybody doesn't have any questions, then that's it. Thank you very much, Cathy, and thank you everyone for joining us. Hopefully see you in the next ones as well. Thank you, Cathy.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Have a good day. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
All the best.